Wade Jones, raw and uncut.
Yo, what up, YouTube? What it do, my people? It's that boy Lamont Wade Jones coming back at you with another video, and I'm just wanted to bring this quick blog to my good people because, like I said, I happen to have been strolling through multiple tabloids like I normally do, and when I came across this is one that I just could not ignore, and the reason for that is because, as you can clearly see, the title says 1/3 of troops turning down virus vaccine. Reports from the Pentagon. These are reports from the Pentagon, so they say, okay? Now, and as you can see, I got this article from the Epic Times, which is a source that a lot of people don't know about. And the reason that a lot of people don't know about the Epic Times is, there have been numerous attempts to ban media, outlets like the Epic Times for quite some time now, because of a lot of the content they cover. Just like a lot of my videos, have always been, suppressed because of a lot of the content that I cover. You dig what I'm saying? Which is another one of the main reasons why I rock with the Epic Times. Yeah, it's one of the main reasons why that boy Lamont Wade Jones always have and always will rock with the Epic Times. You dig? Because that's one of the things that we have in common, and I wouldn't give a damn what anybody else said about it. And I'm talking to those who are against media outlets like the Epic Times, because if you are one of those people, that lets me know that you are part of the problem when it comes to just getting real truth from the media instead of a lot of this fake news that we've been heavily getting over the past years. You dig what I'm saying, my good people? Anyway, another reason why this topic here surprised me is because, like I said, I'm gonna read the title to this topic one more time, okay? And as you can see, 1/3 of troops turning down virus vaccine, okay? I find that to be highly amazing and also surprising. That was like a Silk the Shocker bomb being dropped on your boy Lamont that way. And I'm so serious. And the reason I put it that way is because when it comes to topics like this, when it comes to the U.S. military, especially the U.S. military, okay, these are some of the people that you would have never even thought that would have even considered turning down the vaccination, for the simple fact, I'm sure if you're familiar with this story, there has been numerous stories on how the military plans on how the military actually plans on distributing the vaccine. And yeah, there's been a lot of talks about how the government has actually planned on how they were going to distribute this vaccination through its military, okay? Yeah, and I had to pause for a second there, my people, because I'm still kind of in disbelief. Because, like I said, I was actually, or I actually used to be one of those people who used to think that the military, especially when it comes to Uncle Sam's military, in other words, the United States military, who's completely owned by the government. I was always one of those people who thought that the military wasn't going to have any choice. In other words, I thought that when it came to them putting these vaccines out on the market, to the masses, Okay, I honestly used to think that the military, it was going to be mandatory for U.S. military personnel. Let's just put it that way. Oh, I thought that. And that's why I say for me to see this, is a real eye opener because that which should also be well in my book is a good thing because and sort of a should I say even a what I would also call a relief because that lets me know that hey, a lot of these troops who the government actually planned on, if it really came to it, them making this mandatory was going to use to force on the people. This is the same military we're talking about, which is why I also find it to be a huge relief. And that also lets me know that a lot of these U.S. soldiers are pretty much woke, you know, to the fact that a lot of these vaccinations are not for everyone. In other words, a lot of these vaccinations, really, in my book, are not for anyone. If you ask me, okay? And the reason I say that is because of when it comes to the drug AB8. I'm sure if you are familiar with my channel, for those who really do rock with that boy they call Lamont that way Jones this way, you would know that about when it came to this drug ABA that I'm talking about, when it came to the scientists at UPMC, okay, which stands for the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, okay, they actually developed a new drug called AB8, and that's how I also found out that a lot of people are actually immune to COVID-19. That's why they're trying to say that it's gonna be another huge, strand of it to hit again and all that, bullshit or whatever. Okay, but anyway, this is back to what I was really getting at. Okay, like that's another reason why I find it, you know, actually shocking that when it comes to the U.S. troops, turning down this vaccine. Okay, now that being said, I'm gonna go and read this article, okay? It's like it says here, about 1/3 of U.S. military troops have turned down the vaccine for the CCP virus, as the Times puts it, or the novel coronavirus, said the Pentagon on Wednesday. Major General Jeff Taliaferro, a top official in the Joint Chiefs of Staff, said the military has a 2/3 acceptance rate for the CCP virus vaccine. Our initial look, and this is of course very early data, is acceptance rates are somewhere in the 2/3 territory, Taliaferro said in a hearing, and of course it varies by different groups. We believe that, of course, the vaccine is the right thing to do. It's clearly safe for service members, Taliaferro said, noting that military officials want personnel to get the shot, and we need to continue to educate our force and help them understand the benefits. Major General Stephen Nordhaus, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, because a lot of these big wheels or however you want to put it actually have some really weird ass names. Okay, anyway, like it says, Major General Stephen Nordhaus, the head of operations for the National Guard Bureau, told the panel that the National Guard had an acceptance rate of 2/3 to 70%, mirroring the military at large, specifically of about 916,000 doses administered to Department of Defense personnel. 359,000 have received at least one dose, while 147,000 are fully vaccinated, said Bob Salas. Hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Told you these big wheels have some of the weirdest damn names. But anyway, who is acting Defense Secretary for Homeland Defense and Global Security. Salas has told the hearing that it'll probably be sometime in late July, August before the DoD vaccinates its civilian, military, and contractor workforce. With new variants or variants popping up across the globe, I'm not sure we can wait 2 years for the full Food and Drug Administration FDA approval. Representative Mike Rogers, Republican Alabama, said in a hearing, it's critical for our national security that every service member, as well as DoD civilian personnel and contractors, receive vaccines as soon as possible. Previously, the DoD did not specify how many soldiers were declining the shot. A spokesman for the agency, John Kirby, told Politico and other news outlets on Wednesday that the DoD doesn't have a system in place to track vaccinations among troops. He dispelled the idea that the Pentagon is withholding information from news outlets and the public. Nobody is hiding data, Kirby said. We don't have a system in place across the services to specifically track data with respect to those individuals for who, whatever reason, are declining. Both Pfizer and Moderna vaccines for the CCP virus are under emergency use authorization by the FDA. It means the agency has not fully cleared their usage. The Epoch Times has reached out to the Pentagon for comment, and that's not a surprise that the Pentagon, hasn't answered their comments. Like I said, because the Epoch Times is one of the, should I say, it's actually a major media news outlet that they have been trying to ban for the longest, especially when it comes to the Chinese. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, my good people, but yeah, my good people, I'm gonna say it again. Yep. I'm gonna just say this before I end this vid, okay? If you are a person who honestly believes in a person having a choice when it comes to whatever they decide to put into their bodies or not, then this should definitely be a relief to you. This topic that's in your face right now that says 1/3 of troops turning down virus vaccine. You want to know why? Because at one point you had a lot of people who was already against vaccinations from day one, scared to death. Okay, scared to damn death, because they thought that the government was eventually, going to try to force these vaccinations and not give the people a choice. When it came to these vaccines, a lot of people who was always against this from day one, as I will say once again, another reason why they feared that it would be forced because of the military, because everybody knows that at one point that was one of the ways that they were actually going to, allegedly, I'm just going to say this, but I know for a fact that in my book, that they were actually going to use or try to use the military to force these vaccinations on people. And don't get me wrong, I don't mean just literally you know what I'm saying, holding you down or whatever, but they were actually going to, it was one point, there was actually a plan in place to where they were actually, the powers that be were actually going to have the military knock on people's doors and all that shit. I'm dead serious. Dead serious. I cannot make this up. And let people know, hey, either you take this or we're going to take you. And that went for your family. All that. Believe me, I'm serious. Can I make this up? At one point, that was actually one of the plans at one point. That's why if you are a person that's always been against vaccinations, this should be a huge relief to you. That a lot of these soldiers are woke too, because a lot of people don't understand. See, a lot of these soldiers, shit, they have families too. They're human beings just like us. But that let me know. This also lets me know that a lot of soldiers are willing to go AWOL when it comes to this type of thing, even if it was to have been forced on them, regardless of their military ranking or affiliation. Period. You dig what I'm saying, my people? So yeah, if you are a person, I'm gonna say this one last time. If you are a person who has always been against this type of thing, this should be a huge relief for you, because just knowing that the troops are also woke to the dangers of vaccinations. Okay? But anyway, my good people, I just felt like, that I had to blog on this for the simple fact, I've always feared that when it came to American, or should I say U.S. military, period, that they were actually going to try to use the military to, at one point, force the vaccinations on a lot of the masses. You dig what I'm saying? Allegedly. I'm going to say that. But anyway, my good people, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close this video out. Make sure you always keep your third eye open. You dig what I'm saying, my good people? Because whenever you think, or whenever there ever comes a time in your life where you actually thinks when things can't get any worse, it does. You know why? I know these things. I've said it a million times. Believe me when I tell you, my good people, it's been lots of times when I used to sit back when things was real shitty. You dig what I'm saying? And a lot of times I used to sit back when times were that way and be like, damn, I don't think it can get any worse. And it did. That's why a lot of times, even when it comes to my people, like my relatives, my brother asked me one day, he called me, he said, "What's up, big bro?" I said, "What's going on, little bro?" He said, "Everything all right? You been doing okay?" You know what I told him? I said, "Yeah, I'm good, bro, because I know things could be a whole lot worse than what they already are." Did what I'm saying, my good people? Anyway, make sure you keep that in mind. No matter how bad things can be going for you, always remember that it can get worse. You know why? Because for one, be thankful that you're living, especially in these times we're living in right now. You did what I'm saying? And I'm also remind you guys of this. If you're not familiar with my channel, you need to go check out the video I did when it comes to the researchers of UPMC, University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, when they made the drug called ABA. This is also how I found out that a lot of human beings were actually, or should I say actually, immune to COVID-19, because they use those people that they know that are immune when it comes to their blood, certain blood types. They use their antibodies, to actually develop this drug. You really should check these videos out, because a lot of these super mainstream media outlets, I noticed they haven't been covering these stories. There are alternative drugs, is what I'm trying to say, when it comes to these vaccinations. But I noticed they've been trying to keep this under wraps. So if you're not familiar with the drug ABA, you can Google it, or you can just go on my channel if you're familiar with my channel, and look at it and see it for yourself. See, I made it easy for you. That way you ain't even got to do all the research. If you really want to know about this drug called ABA, just go to my channel. I did all the work for you. All you got to do is sit back, watch, soak up game, and learn. You did what I'm saying, my good people? Anyway, my good people, with that being said, I just wanted to thank everybody who decided to stop and rock with that boy they call Lamont. That way, Jones, this way. You dig, my good people? Till next time, my good people. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, you dig? Till next time, my good people. Peace. Peace out.